Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Imagine being the #1 fighter in the world, having the most impressive win streak in your division, and still being told, wait in line. That is the life of Arman Tsarukyan right now. We all know the drama. He was skipped for the interim title at UFC 324 this month. But today, Arman finally spoke out, and he's changing his strategy. He's tired of waiting for Ilia, and he's setting his sights on a different kind of gold. He wants the BMF title. Let's break down his plan. Arman just did an interview that has everyone talking. He was asked about the current champion, Ilia, and Arman didn't hold back. He said, Ilia, he fights once a year. Maybe he defends his title in June and says, okay, I'll fight next year.
Okay.
So we'll see.
You don't want that, right? You want the real title.
Yeah, I want a real title, but I don't want to wait until the end of the next year. And then Ilia, he fights once a year. Maybe he defend his title in June and then say, okay, I'll fight next year in June. And then what I can do, just stay. And I'm not that young to wait a lot too.
Arman's point is simple. He's in his prime. He's young, he's healthy, and he's not interested in sitting on the sidelines while a champion takes a year-long vacation. He made it clear that if the real belt is stuck, he's happy to take the BMF belt instead. He told the UFC, if they give me the BMF title, it would be great too.
But the weird thing is, what if Ilia comes back in the summertime, right? And now you've got an interim champion.
Yeah.
And usually the interim champion will fight the actual champion. You're neither of those. That means we're talking about another fight happening and you're not fighting for the belt, and now we're talking about the back end of the year.
Yeah, but maybe BMF title. If they give me BMF title, it would be great too. If Charles Oliveira wins, so it's gonna be good. We got the story, and just get that belt, and then the real belt.
So, who does he have to fight to get it? The BMF belt is currently held by Max Holloway, and he is scheduled to defend it against Charles Oliveira at UFC 326 on March 7th. This is a massive rematch. Remember, they fought a decade ago, but it ended in a weird injury. Now, they are two of the biggest legends in the sport. Arman is basically saying, I want the winner. Think about that. Arman has already beaten Oliveira once at UFC 300, but a rematch for the BMF belt would be a blockbuster. Or, if Max Holloway wins, we get a super fight between the best boxer in the UFC and the best wrestler at lightweight. Either way, Arman is positioning himself for a massive payday. If Arman gets his wish, how do these fights go? If it's Arman versus Oliveira 2, we've seen the movie before. Arman's wrestling is just too much. He's likely to ground and pound his way to a decision or a late TKO. But if it's Arman versus Max Holloway, that is a fascinating fight. Max has that legendary anti-wrestling and unlimited cardio. Arman would have to work harder than he's ever worked to keep Max down. Arman's goal isn't just to be a champion. He wants to be active. He knows that in the UFC, if you stay active and put on shows, the fans will demand you get the belt eventually. He's forcing the UFC to either give him Ilia or give him the BMF. So, I have to ask you, is Arman making the right move? Should he wait for the undisputed title, or is the BMF belt the best way to stay relevant? And who do you think wins the BMF fight in March, Max or Charles? Let me know in the comments. I'm reading every single one. Hit that like button for the algorithm, and I'll see you in the next one.